And now please join me in welcoming Jane Henney, the Home Secretary and former Commissioner of FDA. One of Jane's many roles as Home Secretary is to chair the Member Awards Selection Committee, and she'll present this year's awards.
The Walsh McDermott Medal is presented to a member of the National Academy of Medicine in recognition of distinguished service to the National Academies of Science, Engineering, and Medicine over an extended period of time. Dr. Barbara J. McNeil is the Ridley Watts Professor and founding head of the Department of Healthcare Policy at Harvard Medical School and Professor of Radiology at the Brigham and Women's Hospital, and is the recipient of the 2017 Walsh McDermott Medal. Dr. McNeil's contributions to the NAM and the academies are numerous and noteworthy. Educated in quantitative biochemical science and devoted to the study of new medical technologies, Dr. McNeil is an investigator in decision-making procedures and theory, technology assessment, and quality of care measurement, as well as a member of numerous government and foundation advisory groups. She has served on NAM's Governing Council, including the NAM Executive Committee and the NAM Membership Committee, as well as a variety of the Academy's activities such as the Nuclear and Radiation Studies Board, the Commission on Behavioral and Social Sciences and Education, the Board of Health Sciences Policy, and the Board of Healthcare Services. Her committee services include a range of topics related to nuclear and radiation studies, highly effective clinical services, cancer care, early detection of breast cancer, future directions in behavioral and social studies research, and airport passenger screening. To these activities, Dr. McNeil has brought her deep analytical talents, incisive thinking, and collegiality. Please help me in congratulating Dr. McNeil as she joins me on the stage.
Jane said I could say something for a minute, and that's really not enough to say how much I value the NAM and its multiple activities. When I was notified that I was receiving this award, it made me think back a little bit to my first activities with the academies, or with the IWM at the time. And it started with my role under the Health Sciences Policy Committee under CM Thier, and then with the Board of Health Services, which I chaired. And then these and the many other activities that Jane mentioned, I became to realize more and more how important this particular organization is in providing good and balanced data for everybody. Now, going forward, I think when we think about the roles that we and others have to play in worrying about costs, quality, and access to care, our challenges are bigger than ever. So as Victor said, we have a big job ahead of us, and I hope all of us can be part of it. Thank you very much.
The David Rall Medal is given to the NAM member who has demonstrated distinguished leadership as chair of a study committee or other activity showing commitment above and beyond the usual responsibilities of the position. Richard O. Hynes, PhD, FRS, is an investigator at the Howard Hughes Medical Institute and the David K. Ludwig Professor for Cancer Research in the Koch Institute for Integrative Cancer Research at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and is the recipient of the 2017 David Rall Medal. Dr. Hynes has been a unifying force and an eminent presence at the Academy since the mid-1990s. Among other Academy activities, He co-chaired 2 high-profile committees, which produce seminal reports that have or are poised to shape the policies and regulations of their respective fields. From 2004 to 2005, he co-chaired the Committee on Guidelines for Human Embryonic Stem Cell Research. Dr. Hynes quietly but firmly guided the committee to a consensus set of guidelines, which became the model for guidelines written by the International Society for Stem Cell Research. Over the last 2 years, he has co-chaired the Committee on Human Gene Editing, Science, Medical, and Ethical Considerations, which dealt with 2 highly contentious topics: human enhancement and heritable germline genetic modification. Dr. Hynes deftly steered a committee of passionate experts with divergent assessments and characterizations of the state of the science to a set of coherent consensus recommendations. Together with his co-chair, they masterfully shepherded the report through divisive political waters, both before and following the report release. Please help me congratulate Dr. Hynes as he joins me on the stage.
I also was given a minute, so thank you so much for this award. I feel deeply honored to be receiving it, but I must acknowledge that this could not have been done. This committee could not have come to closure without the efforts of a wonderful committee over a long period of time to bring this together with the staff of the academies to closure. So I'm here representing all of them. And I particularly want to thank my wonderful co-chair, Alta Chero, without whom this could not have been done. I inquired why she's not up here, and she's, as I thought she should be. And I learned that that's because of all the other services she renders to the Academy. And this seems to me a clear case of no good deed goes unpunished. So I've enjoyed working with Alta over quite a number of years on this committee. Well, it wasn't a number of years on this committee, and also on earlier ones on stem cell research. And I've learned a great deal from her, and I look upon her as a kindred spirit and a good friend. So I wish she were up here too. So the National Academies perform wonderful service in tackling advances in biomedical science and addressing the societal issues that they raise and how to balance those against the promise of the advances. And it's been a great pleasure and honor to serve in a small way in that effort. And I thank you again for the award. I value it greatly. Thank you. I do need that.
Don't forget the goal. The Adam Yarmolinsky Medal is given to an NAM member from a discipline outside of the health and medical sciences. It recognizes distinguished service by a member who over a significant period of time has contributed in multiple ways to the mission of the NAM. Ruth R. Faden, PhD, MPH, is the Philip Franklin Wagley Professor of Biomedical Ethics and founder of the Berman Center for Bioethics at Johns Hopkins University, and is the recipient of the 2017 Adam Yarmolinsky Medal. Dr. Faden is the outstanding scholar, teacher, and citizen whose contributions have changed the role of bioethics in health and medicine by emphasizing the role of public health ethics, tackling novel questions in research ethics, and exploring foundational issues in social justice. She has chaired several critical studies for the Academy since the late 1980s. For example, she chaired the Committee on Legal and Ethical Issues related to the inclusion of women in clinical studies and co-chaired the Committee on Ethical and Scientific Issues in Studying the Science of Approved Drugs. Dr. Faden has also been a member of the Board on Health Science Policy and the NAM Membership Committee. She has worked to advance social justice through a number of Academy's forums and meetings and authored commissioned papers for the Academies on when and why racial and ethnic disparities matter, and on ethical and legal issues in pandemic response. She continues to set the agenda for emerging issues in bioethics and to prepare the next generation of scholars. Please help me congratulate Ruth as she joins me on this stage.
So I have my 1 minute, and I basically want to say, first and foremost, thank you to the Academy for this extraordinary honor, for the opportunity to serve, for taking a chance quite a number of years ago on a reasonably young scholar in bioethics and giving her an opportunity to contribute to public service in such an important and significant way. I am delighted by the the Academy's renewed and continued commitment to diversity in membership and to continuing to take chances on younger generations. So thank you again for this honor. I'm deeply, deeply touched.
Jane.
I put my papers in it.
We're all going to be lost without our notes. There you go. Thank you. You all set?
I don't know. Here's another page.
I'm all set. So let's have some fun. I gave you very serious remarks. I hope you'll all take it to heart. But now we're going to have some real fun, because we have a great program ahead of us. But I will say the following. One thing I'm continuously impressed by the NAM is the caliber of staff we work with every year, every day. And each year, we honor a current or a former staff member with a Cecil Award, the highest distinction that an NAM staff member can be recognized. The Cecil Award, which consists of a medal and $5,000, recognizes outstanding sustained contributions staff members to program or membership activities. Historically, as you know, Cecil Award was given to staff from the Institute of Medicine. With the reorganization a couple of years ago, Cecil Award moved to the National Academy of Medicine, and last year we gave the first award to Judith Shamir, as you remember, our previous membership director. Going forward, I'd like to say that next year, starting next year, I'm pleased to announce to all of you that all the staff across the national academies who work on health and medicine issues will be eligible to receive the award. I think this inclusive approach will allow us to recognize the tremendous work of staff within the NAM, but also across the academies, all the program divisions who every day work so hard and to advance a range of health issues. So we're in the midst of developing the criteria and nomination selection process, so please be on lookout for this coming year. But it is my great distinct pleasure to recognize this year's Cecil recipient, my friend and colleague, Maria Michnich. Marie has served as director. Yes, let's clap for her. You can do that again when she receives the award. I'm going to read hers. So, as you know, she has served as director of our health and health policy education programs and fellowship for 15 years, and has grown the program into one of the most prestigious in DC and nationally. She has been a great advisor to me during the reorganization and all different things political. She really has been a really good friend. As many of you know, she has recently transitioned to a senior scholar role at the NAM, and we retired in 2018. I'm not sure what retirement means for Marie, but I'm sure that she will continue working with us. So I can't think of a more deserving winner of the 2017 Cecil Award than Marie Michnich. So please join me in congratulating her.
In my high school yearbook, it reads, "Yet will the woman have the last word." I can't figure out why. You need to know this is the most remarkable organization, and I've been a part of a lot of wonderful organizations. Many of them are my leaders that I've supported throughout the decades are in this room. I can't tell you what a privilege it is to have served under such magnificent people. All the ideas that I have been able to bring to fruition come from people in this room. It is your ideas that have given me a career that's been so meaningful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marie. I know you're not going anywhere, except for, I think, what are you doing? All right.